Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack on Production. Today I have Jimmy with me, and Jimmy, you just won. And
I did just
it's been a
win.
while since you've won,
Yeah,
actually.
because I mean, I've been trying to play. I've been net decking a bunch of meta decks and not actually playing a deck that I built.
And to correct Jimmy, that is right.
Yeah.
He's been working on this deck way before this type of deck did top.
Yeah. Well, I was working on a very different version of the deck.
Yeah.
And then a lot of cards from Draft Box 6 got released, and I was like, oh shit! Like some of these cards are really good.
Yeah.
And a few other people got similar ideas. I think I talked about it in my duel when I was playing the mono green variant of this.
We went over a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I think his name was Alex Wilkins. He got second place with mono green hit pod, and I tried that out, and I built my red green variant. I like my red green variant a lot better. I think it takes the deck in a completely different direction. Instead of the like skillless spam, it kind of goes a lot taller.
Yep. So unfortunately, we didn't get matchups. So I couldn't get a chance to see this deck in its full action. But like always, if you all enjoy the content, hit the like, subscribe button, and don't forget hit the bell as well, because you have a button fetish just like Jimmy does. And with that being said, Jimmy, let's get into this profile.
All right, so we got Glizzy in a trench coat. Shout out Just Relax Kid. So,
Wait, I have to ask.
yeah,
I don't know that reference.
he looks like a hot dog, so he's a hot dog in a trench coat.
The shout out to who?
Yeah, Just Relax Kid. He's a fighters YouTuber. Check him out.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's way bigger than us, but he's still really dope, and I like his content. But anyway, we got hit. Auto, when it attacks leader card, draw one card and gains plus 5k. This is fantastic. There's so many decks in the current meta that awaken early or give themselves boost with like Corrin's Weed Bag running around and Sensu Beam. So being able to swing and not combo up is really nice. So basically it's just a +2 because you get a free 5k combo. Waken at 4 or less, hybrid, and then on the backside, auto. This is very important for this deck. Auto, when this card attacks, draw one card, gains plus 5k, so he's a 20k attacker on the backside, which is again really nice. And then you choose a skillless battle card in your drop area with an energy cost of 2 and play it. 2 or less and play it. So that starts our entire skillless engine, and it's just so much. You plus so much off of this, especially when you have Frieza's Army Healing Pod out on field. Then activate main/battle. Once per turn, choose one card in your hand, place in the drop area. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards with double strike, critical, or blocker, and KO it. People forget about this. And people forget that this is an activate battle. So I've had games where people will drop a double strike, swing, and then combo out their entire hand on it. And then I go, the activate battle, kill it.
You got fluffed that way
Yeah,
in a practice duel once.
Yeah, he dropped Go Tanks on me. He swung. He tapped out to play it. I was at 2 life. And I just activated battle, killed it. And it completely threw his entire game off. So that is very, very powerful. Against stuff like Sen Shinron. Sen Shinron just can't deal with this. Like, they can't negate this skill, so they're dead in the water at that point.
Yep.
But we run 4 Frieza Armor Healing Pod. So there's a lot of drop area recursion in this deck, so you just draw so many cards from the drop area. This combo, especially with the leader, so you essentially +4, you swing, you gain a +5, so that's a free 5k combo, you draw one off a leader, you plus a battle card, then you plus another card off of Frieza's Army Healing Pod from playing the card from the drop area. It's just so much value off of one energy that you can throw out at the beginning of the game, or even late game. I've thrown this out and still got good draws off of it. So, fantastic combo. Go into our Unisons. Run 3 Demigra. Not much to say about Demigra. He's Demigra. I prefer this Unison over Demigra. He puts a lot of pressure since he's a 15k attacker and then can deal with barrier cards. But I like Bio Broly because he lets you set up your drop area, set up your skillless plays, and then still get draws off of it. And his -4 is, I've never done it, but it's just good. You drop 2 cards, your opponent drops 2 cards from their hand, he gains 16,000 in dual attack, so he can end games by himself. And his auto is really nice, so if your opponent is hating on your Unison a lot, you can just keep this coming back and keep your Friezas alive. Because you can't run Dormant Potential in this deck because you run a red leader, which is sad. Speaking of Friezas, just one of the best counterplays in the game. Play it, KO a card if you have 2 or more markers, and that's another reason why Broly is good. So you're going to be keeping a Unison on the field. A good way to think about this is that he always has 1 more marker than he says he does. You just have to drop a card for that last marker. 2 Zamasus. Great play off of the Frieza. Just basically Ghetto successor, indestructible. Every time he attacks, your opponent has to drop one. Just good card in the deck. Zarbon, because it's a green deck. I have rarely ever played this card. This card is basically just to fix numbers on my board. And if I have energy to spend, why not play it and get a blocker on field that can cause your opponent to drop one? And if you have Frieza's Army Healing Pod, you get to draw off of it. So, not the greatest card in my testings. I know if you run the mono green version, I think this card is a lot better. The red green variant, a lot of your energy is being tapped to play other battle cards, so he rarely comes up. Nappa. So best of both worlds with this super combo when you have our healing pod out, because at the end of the combo, all cards go to the drop area, and he plays from the drop area. So he's a green card, draw a card. It sucks that you don't get the draw on combo, but you do get a draw, which is nice. Plus, you can put bodies on field for Alliance. You put more bodies on field to swing with or to combo again. He's just really versatile and really good, especially in this deck. 2 Topo because it's red and Topo's good card. Max Power because it's just a great meta call right now. There's so many good big bodies running around, so being able to warp them. I had a match with one of my matchups was Red Broly. I played Red Broly twice today. He put his 3-drop out on turn 2, and I just warped it, and it basically killed his whole game plan because he did not have another one in hand to play back out. So just good, and also being able to recur it from the drop area is nothing to sneeze at either. A card that I probably should cut.
We had a long conversation about this.
Yeah, we had a very long conversation about this, and it ended up with me going, "Yeah, I think I should cut it," and then it turned back into suck turds fluff. I'm playing the card anyway.
But what if you come across Victory Strike?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm dunking all over Victory Strike with this. I love this card. When I first read it, I was like, "This is the most broken card ever. Why is nobody talking about it?" And then I played it and realized, yeah, it's not that great. But I just love it because being able to drop this down and be like, okay, I'm at 115,000 power. What are you going to do about it?
Wait, is that how you got the 160 against Jason?
No, I'll get to that.
Okay.
And here's why. This card is snapped. And I think people are slowly realizing this because this card is doubled in value almost overnight. I think he's tripled in value because when I looked at him last time, he's like $5. Now he's like 15 today. So, double strike, 2-drop, Alliance red-green. If your leader card is red, all the cards you switch to rest mode using Alliance, he gains the power of them. You draw 2 cards and then deal 1 damage to your opponent's life if they're at 3 or less. This being inclusive...
3 or more.
3? Or 3 or more, my bad. Yeah. This being inclusive, that if they're at 3, you still deal a damage, is absurd. This should be 4. It should be, they have to have more than 3 life.
Yeah.
Because you put this on field, you swing, you tap whatever cards you have on field. Like, he's already a 16k base. You'll be swinging, like, if you, say, play your 2-drop 20k vanilla, you're swinging for 36,000 double strike after already dealing a damage and you're drawing 2 cards. All for 2 energy.
Yep. It
is absurd how good this card is, and it has won me every game today. I swung, I comboed up. I had 2 cards in my combo area. I had a 10k combo and a super combo. And just from the cards I tapped on field, I was swinging for 91,000. It is absurd how good this card is. Especially as a 2-drop, because you tap 2 energy and your opponent's like, I don't want to waste a counterplay on a 2-drop battle card because that's just not good value. And then they swing, they don't negate, and then they're facing down a 100k beater that's going to kill them with double strike.
And the thing is that even if you were to negate it and your life was 3 or more, the auto was still proc. You just tap an Alliance card.
Yeah, so I still get my draws, I still get to burn, and it's just insane how good that card is. Mercenary Tau. So if you have 3 or more battle cards, non-token battle cards in play, you play him from your hand for free and he gains critical. Nice critical beater. I mostly use him as an Alliance target, just basically as a 15k combo for free, which is just absurd. Not much else to say about it. You can use this to kind of fix numbers if you're wanting to go into your Zamasu, which I don't think you have to hit green cards. I think it's just any battle cards. Yeah. Just any battle cards. So you can fix numbers with this to play Zamasu out. Otherwise, it's just Alliance fodder or critical beater. Saiyan Kaba. Self-Awakening is not really needed with how much aggression has been at the locals, but this is a good red charge target or just a good card to swing into Unisons, because there are a lot of annoying Unisons out. Usually you want to win on like turn 3 or 4 with this deck, so rarely a Unison gets to proc, but if you do run into a situation where you need to deal with a Unison, this is your best option. You can run any other like whatever 1-drop red or 1-drop support, or it doesn't really have to be a 1-drop. I just chose Kaba deal with Unisons, and for the games that are more grindy and I'm going to have to awaken myself. Further Destruction Champa, no need to say much more about it. It's not French this time, so...
Jimmy.
I wanted to play a legal deck for once, man. It feels good. Maybe that's why I got first place, because I'm actually playing a real deck.
You weren't disqualified.
Yeah, exactly. So, Son Goku Nimbus Master. I was really high on this card, but I'm thinking about maybe dropping this down and making this a 4th Piccolo Jr. Just because Piccolo Jr. draws so much, so you'll eventually see your skilluses. So, what this card is good at, combo with it, and you get to, at the end of the combo, you either get to play a 2-drop skillus from, or 2 or less skillus from your drop area or your deck. So I was using this mainly to search out my skilluses and put them on play so I can go through my whole skillus engine. But lately, it just hasn't been coming up all that much. It usually ends up in my energy or pitched for one of my skills, like a Bio Broly or something like that. His Activate main, I've never done it. It might be good, I don't know. Maybe in an Alliance situation, it would be pretty good. Might drop that down, might not, I don't know. Might do an update for this deck later on. Saiyan Man, this card is insane. I love it. So, you pick up a skillus in your battle area, play this card, and then when you play her, you choose 1 skillus battle card in your drop area with energy cost of 2. There's a 2 or less on this one as well. I don't think it matters. Yeah, 2 or less. And then you play it. And I think you can actually play this from your deck too. Yeah, you can play it from your deck. So if you have a skillus in the drop area, you probably want to do that so you can proc Healing Pod. Otherwise, just 15k beater, that puts another 20k on field. And for skillus, just any green 2-drop 20ks, use what you got foils of. This is just what I happen to have foils of at the time. Skillus. Yeah. Bardock the Resolute. So this was more of a meta call for our locals because I knew Red Broly was going to be a somewhat popular deck, and Red Broly takes a lot of his own life. So this procs at any moment that your opponent takes life. So I was just throwing this out every time Broly would go, okay, I'm going to activate my leader skill, or I'm going to activate my tournament pack Broly. This comes out to play, and now this is an issue for them because that's a 15k double strike that they really can't deal with early on. And they don't want to take life as quickly as... I guess nobody wants to take life that quickly. But Broly wants to use its life as a resource, and this just denies that resource. It's also good if you play it off of the Piccolo when you deal a damage. So it's not completely dead in every matchup, but still a good card. You basically get to run 2 secret rares because this card is absurd. Overwhelm 6, Double Strike Crit, 20k, not much else to say about it. And your other secret rare, Cell X. You still play enough mono green cards in the deck that getting to 12 is not an issue.
The 5, Frieza, the skilless, the 3-drop.
So usually my setup for any sort of Cell X play is Saiyaman and Gohan, that makes 5, and then a Frieza or a Zamasu, whichever one is on field. So let's say Frieza at the time because that's easier to get out. And then literally any other 2-drop. So you can play another skillus. If you played it off of the leader, you can play that for free. Your Zarbon is good for fixing numbers. So Cell X is not a difficult card to get out in this deck at all, even though it's really a harsh red-green deck.
I mean, technically, you might Can you do that on turn 2, technically?
Turn 3 is the earliest I've ever done it. So
Still, wow.
Turn 2, I might have to look at it and figure it out, but I could probably do it on turn 2.
Does Saiyaman have a restriction to energy?
No.
So yeah, you could just counterplay your opponent's first card because you played obviously a Unison, get Frieza on the board, turn around.
So actually,
not.
I think the play for
You have
that,
to be awakened for that play.
Yeah, the play for that actually would be, I would combo off Nimbus Master early on. Probably won't be able to do it turn 2.
Yeah,
now that I think about it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but still,
Cell-X
just a busted card. I don't think you need this card at all to win with this deck. I think you definitely need.
I was curious if you would run the Alliance one or not with the super combos and stuff as a factor because it rips 2 life.
I did actually think about the Arrival SS3 Scramble. That was the one that I wanted to run in the deck. The issue is it doesn't have deflect.
Yeah.
And this deck never gets to turn 5.
Well,
so.
Oh yeah, it has to be 5 energy to bring it out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I rarely ever get to turn 5.
Fair
It usually
enough.
ends on turn 3. All of my games that I played today ended on turn 3 solely because of Piccolo Jr. And
Yeah.
that's why I want to put it at a 4 of so I see it more often.
It's a phenomenal card.
Yeah, it's insane, and I would not be surprised if it gets hit in some form or fashion.
So with that being said, Jimmy, thank you for your profile. If you guys have any concerns or comments, put it down below. And with that being said, Jimmy, last words.
If it burns when you pee, that's all I got.
Fair enough. And with that being said, thank you for tuning in. Like always, read your cards, know your plays, fluff out.